The Supreme Court hinting it could issue a monumental decision today, this morning, on whether or not states can disqualify President Trump from their 2024 ballots. Tom Dempsey is outside the Supreme Court with the latest. Tom, I think there's a lot of nerves on both sides of the aisle this morning about which way they're going to rule. And it's expected to come down less than 24 hours before the polls open for Super Tuesday.
Yeah, good morning, Markie. Yeah, absolutely. In just a matter of hours, we could see the Supreme Court issue a decision over whether or not former President Donald Trump can appear on election ballots. The Supreme Court giving less than a day's notice about this announcement. And as we just saw, it comes as voters in several different states are getting set to vote for Super Tuesday. This specific case that we could see an opinion come down on later today stems out of Colorado, where the state Supreme Court disqualified the former president from appearing on primary ballots there for violating the 14th Amendment, Section 3, which dates back to 1868, just after the Civil War, and took aim at former Confederates by barring people from holding office if they helped or took part in an insurrection after taking an oath to the Constitution. The Colorado Supreme Court believes Mr. Trump's involvement on January 6th can be considered taking part in what they describe as an insurrection. During oral arguments last month, though, we saw both the liberal and conservative Supreme Court justices really expressed some skepticism toward that argument. Some of them raised questions about whether the constitutional amendment applies to presidents. Keep in mind, the Supreme Court has never ruled on this section of the Constitution ever in its history. Others raised concerns about the far-reaching impact of this case, with a judge in Illinois and the Maine Secretary of State issuing similar decisions, keeping Mr. Trump off ballots since the case in Colorado.
What's a state doing deciding who gets to who other citizens get to vote for president?
Colorado is not deciding who other states get to vote for president. It's deciding how to assign its own electors under its Article 2 power. And the Constitution grants them that broad power.
But the effect of that is obvious, yes?
No, Your Honor, because different states can have different procedures. Some states may allow insurrectionists to be on the ballot.
Now, it's interesting to note this possible opinion coming down later today kind of breaks from tradition because the Supreme Court plans to post this opinion to its website. Justices will not be in the court later today. Usually they read a summary of their judgments from the court. That will not be the case today. And also, to clear up some possible confusion for our viewers, if Colorado does win this Supreme Court case, Mr. Trump's name will still appear on primary ballots since they've already been printed, but votes for him will not be counted. And as mentioned, we might see other states join in on this effort, which would really put the campaign for former President Donald Trump in serious jeopardy come November, Markie.
Yeah, interesting. Thanks for pointing out what will happen to the Colorado ballots there. But yeah, without those justices going to the bench, we'll keep on pressing that refresh button on the SCOTUS page. Tom, thanks so much. Thanks for watching, everybody. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. Also, don't forget to click that red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.